Hello students, in last class we have discussed about the interference of the light, and regarding to the interference of the light we discussed some applications which are based on the Young's double slit experiment, fringe widths and the distance of the bright fringes or dark fringes from the central fringe. And even when we place the thin sheet in the path of the beam of the light, what happens to the central fringe? So it would be shifted towards the side where we have introduced the thin sheet, and then what will be the path difference corresponding to that when the sheet is introduced? Mu minus 1 into T is equal to N lambda for bright fringe, whereas mu minus 1 into T is equal to N minus 1 into lambda by 2 for dark fringes. So this is what Thomas Young has taken two slits which are acting as a two coherent sources, so that the two wavefronts which are coming from two different sources of light are superimposed, so that the resultant pattern of the intensity of light is observed on the screen, which gives the bright and dark fringes. What will happen if we take instead of a two slits or two sources, let us take only one source of light, or one source of light is one only, but one slit or one obstacle or one aperture. So before that, what will be happen? Let me discuss some example which are related to the. We have a opaque obstacle. Here we have a opaque obstacle. Now what happened here? A light is incident on this opaque obstacle. What would happen? You observe what would happen. Whenever there is no light, we have behind this there is a shadow. Everything is shadow. But because of this one, you can observe that the light bends around the edges of the obstacle. This is what opaque obstacle. This is even this shadow. That means this light will be bends around the here. This shadow will be bends. But let me take here one aperture. Aperture means let us take like a slit. This is what aperture. Here we have a gap. That is what aperture. And this is what obstacle. Opaque obstacle. Now whenever the beam of the light is incident on this, how it would be refracted or how it will be transmitted. So you see that this light enters through this aperture and it bends around this aperture. This is what obstacle, and it is what aperture. Now this width will be changes. Depending upon the distance from the screen and the slit also. So this is what is happening here. Whenever a parallel beam of light or whenever the light is incident on an opaque obstacle or an aperture, what will happen? Then this light is bent around this is what edges of the obstacle. This is bending around the edges of the obstacle, and here actually what we have shadow region is there. This is everything is in shadow region. Now this light is bending around the edges of the obstacle and entering into the shadow region. Now here also if you have taken this aperture, for this aperture the light is entering into this one and passes through this aperture. Thereafter behind here what we have shadow, but this light is entering into the geometrical shadow of this aperture. This is what the phenomena of light, we call it as a diffraction of light. the diffraction of light. What do you mean by the diffraction of light or diffraction of the light? The bending of the light around the edges of the obstacle and enters into the geometrical shadow is called diffraction of light. Which, let me write here, what do you mean by the diffraction of the light? The bending of light around the edges of the obstacle aperture. The bending of the light around the edges of the obstacle aperture into the geometrical shadow region. Into the geometrical shadow region. Geometrical shadow region is called diffraction of the light. Now, is the diffraction of the light takes place always, or is there any condition for taking place this diffraction of the light? Yes, it has to follow certain condition. One condition. What will be that condition? Let us see. We know if you are taking this is what applied to obstacle, and let me take here is a wave. What do you know by this is what wave, and from this one in this wave, what will be the wavelength? This is what here wave lambda. Lambda corresponding to what? Wavelength. So this is wavelength of the light. Wavelength represents what actually? The distance traveled by the light in one time period. Wavelength. Is it? Now, if you are taken, let us take this is A is the size of the obstacle. A is the size of the obstacle. Or even you can take here aperture. This is what the size of the aperture. Is it? A is size of aperture or obstacle. Okay. Now lambda is what? Wavelength of the light. If the wavelength of the light and size of the obstacle or aperture are comparable. That means if the size of the aperture is comparable to the wavelength of the light, is condition. This is what condition. What is condition? Condition for the diffraction of the light. What is condition for diffraction of the light? If the size of the aperture or obstacle is comparable to the wavelength of the light, then only the diffraction of light takes place. If not, what will happen? Is it? That means if the size of the aperture or obstacle is comparable or less than that of the size of the wavelength of the light. Comparable or less than or that of the wavelength of the light. Less than or equal to the wavelength of the light. In this case, only you will get the diffraction of light. For example, if size of the aperture is greater than that of the wavelength, what would be happen? The size of the wavelength is what? Wavelength of the light is comparable to the size of the aperture. Diffraction takes place if the wavelength of the light is less than that of the aperture. That means the size of the aperture or obstacle is more. In that case, diffraction of the light does not take place. But what would happen? The light follows a rectilinear. So light passes in a straight line path. This is what light passes in a straight line path. Light passes in a straight line path. So which is also called what it is? Rectilinear of light, rectilinear motion of light. So which is the consequence of the reaptics? Light follows what? Particle nature, which is what? Reaptics. It is approximation to the reaptics. So that for the diffraction of the light, the condition for the diffraction of the light is it should be size of the aperture or obstacle much less than that of the wavelength of the light, less than that of the wavelength of the light. In that case, we will get the diffraction. And this is diffraction is discovered by the Grimaldi, discovered by, so what it is, diffraction of light is discovered by Grimaldi. Whereas it is explained by Fresnel, explained by the Fresnel, discovered by Grimaldi, and critically explained by the Fresnel. Is it? Then what would be the conditions for the diffraction of light we have seen, and what would be the, so let us see, in what cases do we get this diffraction of the light? In what case do we get the diffraction of the light? In what case do we get the diffraction of the light? In what case do we get the diffraction of the light? Size of the aperture or obstacle much less than that of the wavelength. Is it possible in actual? Is it possible in actual? Is it? So let us think once, what will be the wavelength of the light? Wavelength of light is 10 power minus 7 meter, around 10, that means 4000 angstrom to the 8000 angstrom or 7500 angstrom. So 4 into 10 power minus 7 or 7 into 10 power minus 8, which is the order of the wavelength of light is 10 power minus 7. But do we have the size of the aperture or obstacles which are equal to the 10 power minus 7 meter or comparable to the 10 power, which is not possible. So that this diffraction of the light is not observable everywhere and every time at all places. Diffraction of the light cannot be observed at all places, at all the times, every time you cannot observe. Only for those particular conditions it follows, then only we can get the diffraction of the light. So this is what, but whatever we have the sizes of the obstacles, we have taken what is the size of this one, around 1 centimeter. Where is 1 centimeter? 10 power minus 2 meter, but it is what, 10 power 7. So do we get this diffraction of the light? We will not get the diffraction of the light. Is it? For this purpose, but when we have taken, this is the reason we will not get the wavelength of the, we will not get the diffraction of light for all in our general daily observable things in daily life. But when do we observe? Where do we observe? Only for whenever the diffraction of the light, whenever the light passes through the light is incident like particles like neutrons or protons or electrons, because of their size is very less, 10 power minus 14 meter or 10 power minus 15 meter size of the atom. Is it? So radius of the atom, which is only this for neutron or proton or electrons. When it is incident on neutron, proton or electrons, then only diffraction of light can be observed. But in general light, we cannot get the diffraction of light because the size of the obstacles or aperture are much greater than that of the wavelength of the light, so that we cannot observe this diffraction of light. Now, this diffraction of the light is applicable for any light wave, any waves, any type of waves. Is it okay? Diffraction takes place. Diffraction takes place any type of waves, that means either mechanical or electromagnetic waves or non-mechanical waves. Is it? Mechanical means like sound waves. Sound waves are mechanical waves, whereas non-mechanical waves means light waves or electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic, all types of electromagnetic waves. For all those light wave, whatever may be the type, mechanical wave or non-mechanical wave, these all can be light waves can be different. So let me see for sound, can it be diffracted or not? Can it diffracted or not? Let us see. In what case does? Actually, the wavelength of the sound wave is around, wavelength is 16 millimeter to 16 meter. 16 millimeter to 16 meter. The range of the wave. So what does it difference? 60 millimeter. This is what 60 millimeter means. So 1.6 centimeter. Is it or not? That means this is what size or 16 meter wavelength of light. Now all the objects, whatever we are observing, the size of the object is greater than that of the wavelength. So that what will be happen? Diffraction of the sound waves is observable easily. Diffraction of the sound waves takes easily compared to the light waves because of the more waves. So that diffraction takes easily. Diffraction takes easily. Diffraction takes place easily. But what? Sound waves. But even for ultrasound waves, they have 1 centimeter wavelength. Wavelength is around 1 centimeter. So compared to the sound waves, for ultrasound waves, the diffraction cannot take place easily. Even for X-rays also, X-rays can be diffracted by the crystals, which is restored by the lobate. But even radio waves can be diffracted easily. For radio waves, why is it easily? Wavelength of radio waves is around 2.5 meter to 250 millimeter. 250 meter. Is it okay? Then what is the wavelength range of the radio waves? 2.5 meter to 250 meter. Is it okay? So that it can be diffracted, whereas X-rays can be diffracted by the crystals. X-rays can be diffracted by crystals, and that was studied by the Lagrange. Is it? So this is what the conditions and what will be the concept behind. Everybody should understand what will be the conditions for the diffraction of the light, and when do we get the diffraction of the light. These things we have to understand. Now, Fraunhofer diffraction is explained successfully by the Fraunhofer even Fresnel. So in the Fraunhofer diffraction of the light, they have taken already in Young's double-slit experiment. Young has taken 2 slits, as you know. Here we know that 2 slits are taken, S1 and S2. 2 slits are taken. Now, whenever the 2 slits are taken, the interference is observed on the screen, and which is corresponding to the maximum and minimum intensity. What the corresponding maximum and minimum intensity of the interference fringes conditions we have seen already in our previous class. So then, what will be happen if the double slit is replaced by only single slit? Let us take. Here we have taken only single slit. Is it? What would happen when we have taken this single slit? Anyway, that means diffractionate single slit. Diffractionate single slit. Now let me take we have this thing. This point we have this thing. We have taken a slit. So this is the width of this slit is slit and aperture. What do you call this one? Aperture. So A is the aperture. Diameter of the aperture or slit. Slit width. A is the slit width or aperture. Now, when parallel beam of light is incident on this one, when parallel beam of light is incident, so let me take here L and M. So whenever the parallel beam of the light is incident, so what will be happen? The light will be reaches to this screen directly onto this point, but yet edges, what will be happen? It will be diffraction. Now, if the parallel beam of the light is incident, now what would happen? And we know already, if we have taken plane wave, then what we know already, when we have taken plane waves like this, when they touches to this aperture, then they will be diffracted to the geometrical shadow of this aperture. That means this light waves will be diffracted at this aperture, and the light waves which are coming right at this point will be they touch to the screen at this one, and what we call as the central point. But in this parallel beam of the light is incident by making some angle which is obliquely, but we need to observe the interference pattern at a point P. At this point, if you want to observe the interference pattern, so what will be happen here? Let us take a light wave which are to a point P. So obliquely we are taking obliquely. Is it? Then tell me what would be the path reference to this light? What would be the path reference? This is already known what it is. What it is? Slit width. A is a slit width. A is slit width. Now you draw the perpendicular for this one to this line. Perpendicular you draw. Then let us take, if this is the angle of diffraction, theta is the angle of diffraction. Then what does this represent? If it is a cube, we can observe that MQ is nothing but the path reference. MQ is nothing but what? Path reference. Which is nothing but MP minus LP. MP minus LP. Otherwise, let me take here M and NQ. NP minus MP represents the path reference. MP, path difference of the light. NQ minus MP, which is nothing but NQ only. This is nothing but NQ only. Here what? NP, which is nothing but NQ. And remember, why there is a diffraction express, how do you get the diffraction? That is a very important point. In single slit experiment, we have taken, double slit experiment, we have taken two sources, coherent sources, and these two different wavefronts are coming, and these two wavefronts are superposed, so that the diffraction, the interference pattern is observed. But in diffraction, what we have? Only one slit is there. Only one slit is there. So what happens? The wave is incident on this one. Then whenever the plane wave or whatever we have taken spherical wave is which is incident on this Mn. So Mn is equal to what here? Mn. What happens according to the Huygens principle? Each point of the wavefront acts as a secondary source, so that again we produce. That means from this single wavefront. Now here we have number of wavelets are produced. Number of wavelets. Now these wavelets which are coming from the same wavefront will be superposed, so that we get a diffraction pattern. But in single slit means what? It is in double slit experiment, it is due to the superposition of the two different wavefronts from two coherent sources. But here it is what happening? It is due to the superposition of the wavelengths which are originated from the same wavelength. Then these wavelengths will be superposed so that we get the diffraction pattern on the screen. So what will be the angle? How much angle is there? How much angle is beam of light is diffracted? Bends, that one diffraction is bending of the light around the axis of that one. Now from this one, what do you mean by sin theta? From triangle MQN. What is that? Sin theta is equal to, what do you know that? Sin theta is equal to what? Sin theta is equal to what? NQ by Mn. Then NQ is nothing but what here? Mn sin theta. Mn sin theta. That is equal to what? A sin theta. A sin theta. Now A sin theta is equal to what would be the path reference here? For minima, this A sin theta is equal to n lambda. Then theta is nothing but here order of the diffraction. Then sin theta is equal to what? N lambda by A. N lambda by A. N is what? Order of the diffraction. Similarly, for example, this is what the path reference of the light is. Path reference of light for minimum, only for minimum. For maximum, what will be happen? So let me take here. If the slit is divided into two equal parts, let us take here. If the slit is divided into two equal parts, here two equal parts. Is it okay? Two equal parts means then what it is? M, N. It is L. Two equal parts. Then let me take the bisector points for this one. Here one more midpoint I am taking. Here one more point. M1, M2 taking. Then what is M1, M2 value? A by 2. Look, this value is what? A by 2. Then what would be the corresponding path reference to this one? What would be this is what? Theta. What is it? Then A into theta is equal to lambda into A by 2. So path reference is equal to lambda into A by 2. Is it okay? Otherwise what we know? A by 2. Here A into sin theta. A by 2 sin theta. Sin theta is equal to what? A by 2. Then what is there? L lambda. Is it okay? That reference here, actually we know the path reference corresponding to this is what? Lambda by lambda. But what is the path reference corresponding to this? Lambda by 2. Is it okay? Here A is directly proportional to what? Lambda. That is for minimum. But you will what to get? A by 2, which is nothing but lambda by 2. Now, how many parts it is made? Two parts means 2 lambda by 2. Like that, for 3 parts we will get a maxima. That means we should not get confusion here. The number of parts it is divided. The single slit is divided number of parts. If for each part it is lambda by 2, then for 3 parts what is the path reference? 3 lambda by 2. For example, if you have done 2 parts, when you have done 2 parts, this is in some phase, this is on some phase, then total both are in opposite direction, then the phase difference is 0, so that the maximum intensity is observed. Therefore, for maxima, sin theta is equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. This is what very important thing. Here n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Here also n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Here this diffraction of the light and this derivation is not included here, just we have from the studies we will explain here. Now sin theta, so that is reference n is equal to 1 means first minimum. Let me write here for first minima, for first minima for first n is equal to what? 1, then theta 1 is equal to what? Lambda by. For n is equal to 2, what you get? Theta is equal to 2 lambda by. Is it okay? For n is equal to 3 is equal to what you get? 3 lambda by, and so on. Whereas for maxima, first maxima, for first maxima n is equal to 1. So what you get here? Theta is equal to 3 lambda by 2. 3 lambda by 2a is what here? 2a. I hope you understood. In second case, what did you get? A by 2 sin theta is equal to what? N lambda. Okay, then lambda by 2a. Lambda is nothing but lambda by 2 parts. Now 3 lambda by 2a theta 1. First maximum. For second maximum, n is equal to 2. So what is going to get? Theta 2 is equal to 5 lambda by 2a. Is it? N is equal to means 2 into 2. 4 plus 1 5 lambda by 2a. And for third maximum, secondary maximum, and third secondary maximum n is equal to 3, that is equal to 7 lambda by 2. So that you can understand very easily that the minimum ratio of the minima is 1 is to 3 is to 4 is to and so on, whereas the ratio of the maximum 3 is to 5 is to 7 is to and so on. So what about, let me draw the interference, intensity of the distribution of light due to diffraction of light. So then we have derived that for nth minima, what is the condition? Sin theta n is equal to n lambda by e. For small angles, angle of diffraction is small, then what you take? Theta n is equal to n lambda by a, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Similarly, for nth maxima, so this for nth minima, then what you get here? Theta is equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2a, where n is equal to what you get here? 1, 2, 3 and so on. 1, 2, 3 and so on. Is it? Now what about, let me draw the diffraction pattern of the light. If it is this is a screen, on that this is what 0 center, then at center we will get the maximum intensity. That is what here? Intensity I0. This is what? Central maxima. Now on both sides of the central maxima, you can see here. Here also central maximum. So this is what here? First minima. Here it is what? First minima. Let us take here theta. What is this one? First minima, where we get n is equal to 1? Lambda by a. This is what? Minus lambda by a. And this is what? Look at here, central maxima, where first maxima is nothing but 3 lambda by 2a. Then this is the value corresponding 3 lambda by 2a, and this is also what here 3 lambda by 2a, 3 lambda by 2a. This is what first maximum. It is also what first secondary maximum, both same maximum. And next one what you call first secondary maximum, second secondary maximum. Next second secondary maximum, second secondary maximum, on both sides together. And this is what again 2 lambda by 2a, 2 lambda by a minus 2 lambda by a minus 2 lambda. So like that, on the central bright fringe, on either side of the central bright fringe, diffraction pattern can be observed, so that you can observe from this graph that the intensity of the diffraction pattern decreases gradually, and not only intensity, the width also will be decreased. What happens? We have central bright fringe, central bright fringe. Remember, the angular width of the central bright fringe is twice the first minimum. So, angular width is equal to, for central bright fringe, is equal to twice the angular width of first minimum. First minima, not maxima. Then what you get, theta is equal to, for central bright fringe, angular fringe width of central bright fringe is what? 2 into first minimum. First minimum is equal to what you get? N is equal to 1. Lambda by a. Lambda by a. This is. Whereas linear width of central maximum. Linear width. What about linear width? Here we have already discussed that. Here we have a aperture A, and this is what screen. Is it okay? Now what do you get the linear width? This is what linear center maximum. Is it okay? Maximum. This is maximum. After that the minimum. Again what you have? Maximum. Maximum. Again maximum. Now we can observe the central maxima is twice the first minimum. Twice the first minimum. And remember here, if the distance between screen and slit, single slit is d, then linear width is equal to xn is equal to 2 lambda d by e. 2 lambda d by e. Is it? 2 lambda d by e. For example, whatever we have taken the lens. Here we have taken lens. So let me discuss about this one. What is Fraunhofer and Fresnel diffraction? In a Fraunhofer diffraction and in Fresnel diffraction, slit and screen are at infinite distance. Slit, screen at more distance. But here slit and screen are at finite distance. So as it is finite distance, this is what you can observe the reflection of it. But here it is what? Slit. Here we have a screen. To observe this diffraction pattern, we have used this lens. We have used this lens. Used this lens. Now that is here. Because of the intersection of this lens, for example, if this lens is very close to this slit, then what is d is equal to what? F only, focal length only. That's what. If lens is close to the slit, d is equal to what you get here? Yeah. So what you can write here? Xn is equal to 2 lambda f by a. So 2 lambda f by a. Is it? So this is what diffraction of the light, and when you get maxima and minima, condition for maxima and minima, and from difference between Fraunhofer and Fresnel diffraction. In Fraunhofer diffraction, the lens is used. Here no lenses are used because the slit and screen are at finite distance. Is it? And what would be the difference between interference and diffraction of light? Very important point to this. So let me discuss about the interference and diffraction of the light differences. Interference and diffraction of light. I hope you studied well regarding the interference of the light. So when you study regarding the interference of the light, what you can observe in this one? Interference is a phenomenon superposition of the two waves which are coming from two different wavefronts or two different coherent sources. So it is due to superposition of two wavefronts from two coherent sources. But what about this one, diffraction of light? Is there any two coherent sources are there? Only one coherent, one slit is there. Then this is what due to superposition of wavelets which are originated from same wavefront. Is it single? Here we have taken two slits. Here one wavefront, here one wavefront. These will be. But here what we have taken only single slit. And for this one, from this one, different wavelets which are originated. These are coherent. Only one wavelength. In this, we can observe what happens in this interference. Even in interference will get dark and bright fringes, but even in diffraction of light also will get dark and bright fringes. In interference, all fringes are having equal widths. All fringes are having equal widths. But here what happens? The width of the fringes decreases from central maximum. Whatever may be, the width of the fringes will be gradually decreased from central maximum. The central maximum is having more width. Width of fringes decreases from central maximum. That means with unequal widths. Here equal widths. Now what we can observe here? All bright fringes are having same intensity. All dark fringes are having zero intensity. Is it okay? So then what? All bright fringes having same intensity. Is it? Intensity of all the bright fringes is remain same. But what we discuss here, intensity of the fringe, nth fringe, brightness fringes will be so equally spaced. Intensity having same intensity, whereas here dark fringes have zero intensity. Dark fringes zero intensity. Here what? The intensity of fringes gradually decreases from center maximum. Is it or not? Here. So intensity of fringes decreases from central maximum. Central maximum. Is it okay? Intensity of the all bright fringes have same intensity and dark fringes have zero intensity, whereas intensity of the fringes decrease from central maximum. Even widths also will be decrease gradually. Now here the number of fringes formed are more, large in number, but here in a diffraction, number of fringes formed are smaller in a number. Is it okay? So interference fringes are larger in number. Larger in number. Whereas what happens here? Diffraction fringes are few in number. Few in number. Is it okay? And even you observe what the here, what is the distance of the first maximum? Distance of first maximum. What? Remember, x is equal to n lambda d by d. So lambda d by a. Here also, here what? Distance of nth minimum. What? N lambda by a. N lambda d by a. Is it? Here n lambda d by d. X is equal to n lambda d by d. Small d. Here n lambda d by small a. N is equal to what? Nth order. This is for minimum, but it is what? Maximum. So nth maximum. Let us take nth. So these are what the basic differences are, important differences. However, we cannot differentiate this interference and diffraction completely. And whatever we get, the diffraction of the light, that is due to sizes of the obstacular aperture, and which should be comparable to the wavelength of the light, and you can observe the diffraction of the light by using the two blades. You take a two blades, very sharp, edges are very sharp, then you bring very close to each other, those, is it? And these two are having very narrow width slit. Now you made to incident these two, you made to incident with a light, then you can observe on the screen diffraction bands. And even when you have taken a compact disc, on that compact disc will have the number of colors are obtained on that CD. That is due to what? Diffraction of the light on that disc. That is one of the examples for the diffraction of the light. So everybody, you prepare all these parts regarding to the diffraction of the light and condition for maximum and minima, and what will be the width of central maxima, angular width and linear width of central maxima. So that based on this, in next class we will discuss about the applications of the diffraction of the light. Thank you.